Okay. If it's necessary to reduce expenses in the upcoming city budget, what area or areas would you first consider for cuts?
First consider?
First consider.
You know, that's probably, for me, that's a very difficult question because, as I told you earlier, the budget's 130 pages, and to go through those list of departments and what you can cut and what you wouldn't cut. First of all, you need to have it come from the administration to you. And typically what we would do in my past experience as the city manager, we would ask, as a city manager, we would like to see a no-growth budget because we are in crunch time. Then I'd like to see a 2% reduction package, and then a 4% reduction package, and a 6% reduction package.
Now, would those percentages be across the board or in particular areas?
That would be up to the administration. They are the ones saying, where can we save this 2%? Is it personnel costs? Is it paper? Is it overtime? Is it we're going to do without a position? And so I think you start there. I think that the government's basic thing is your public safety. You have to keep your public safety intact, or the rest of it will not do well at all.
Okay. Some people say that city officials, elected and unelected, don't really listen to the people enough. What do you say, and how would you change the perception or the reality?
Yes, the people's right. And I will tell you that most elected officials don't give enough credit to the voter. They don't listen. And sometimes they have what we used to call the big bad syndrome, in what they think that because they have become an elected official, they now want to control people. That's not the role of elected officials. You then become the person who listens to what the people want to do and try and accomplish what you think is best. You still have to do what you think is best, but you've got to listen to the people, or you're just talking to the wall.
Okay. The Code of Conduct for elected officials for the City of Mesquite provides council members with an expectation of how they are to interact with citizens during council meetings. Do you agree or disagree with the guidelines, and would you work towards any changes?
In the council meetings I have attended, and with my background in both city council and commissions, I see a different attitude and approach here. And I find it somewhat offensive to hear elected officials talking down to both the comments made publicly and to the press. And I don't think that's wise. The first thing a political elected official should understand is you don't get into an argument with a person who buys ink by the barrel.
Okay. What do you think are the most pressing problems or major issues facing Mesquite in the short term and the long term?
Well, I think the short and long term, like right now, the economy is hanging on an edge. We hope we've hit the bottom. We hope that things are going to start moving. But Mesquite is no different than the rest of the country. We are different than Las Vegas, who took a heavy hit on the economy, housing, and Mesquite has been somewhat blessed in that we didn't take quite that much of a hit. So I think it's going to be easier for us as we start the road back to gain that momentum, going back to where the boom days were. When I first came here in '01, this place was booming, and it was something new starting every day. Now you hope that you hang on to those, and I think the focus is in this town specifically. I think, as far as our main business with tourism, is that we got to do something Tuesday through Thursday. The weekends are handling it, but the rest of the week, they're not. And I think that full-time is what we've got to have something fill up that week load.
Okay. Do you feel you have adequate time to devote to the job of city council person?
City council, of course, is a part-time job. But as often is the case, you're required to do many, many more things than you ever thought. When I was a full-time county commissioner, my wife used to say, I would like to see the day that you only have to work 8 hours. I would be at the legislature at 6 in the morning, meetings at night, both social events and so forth. So it's expected. In fact, you're retired now, as I am. You understand that we have that time. And so I can't see it as being a negative for me.
Okay.
And you know, you can do a lot of other things, and you're always asked to do other things. Some people don't understand that you may be invited to the Chambers golf tournament to represent, just because you're with the city or something. I recall a golf tournament I was playing in on a par 3 hole. I hit the pin, and the ball dropped to the bottom of the hole, hit the edge, and flipped off. And it stayed about 4 inches from the hole. And there was a hole keeper at the time, and she said, and the people standing around said, Commissioner Burton, if you'd have made that, there's a car for a hole-in-one. Tell us, who will get that car, you or the county?
Wow,
and I said,
interesting.
I said, who paid my entry fee? That's who will get the car. And that was me.
Okay, to wrap it up, we do appreciate your time. We wish you success in your campaign. But I just have one last question. As an avid golfer myself, what is your golf handicap?
Would you believe a 7?
No.
Thank you. I think right now, and actually I brought it down. I think I'm a 19 or a 20, somewhere in that range right now.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again very much, Glen Burton. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.